Whoo. What's good, y'all? Hello. Welcome to the pod, man. Welcome to the pod. I wish I had little things I could see what I could possibly insert here, but I don't. I'm Aurora, and this pod is called Nyte Lyfe. Welcome to the Nyte Lyfe. No matter what time of day you're watching it, it doesn't matter. You're going to know, you're going to hear about the nightlife. So, yeah. And again, I'm Aurora. I have a few homegirls. They'll be popping in and out, as you'll see in further pods and things like that. My homegirls, they've been through it with me for years at this point now. And yeah, this podcast is going to be really a lot about where I've been going as far as in the nightlife and how I've been able to alchemize that realm, because I feel like it's just that, like it's a whole nother realm at this point. A whole bunch of nocturnal savages, if you will, all just running around drunk and high. But grab your blunts or grab your things, grab your things that you do in your free time, hide the kids, hide your wives. And yeah, so I'm just jumping into it right now. Some might be asking, oh, what do I do? What do I do? I make music for the most part. Like, that's my shit. I want to just run away into a forest and make music for the rest of my life, you know? However, also the other things that I do is I'm an aerialist. So you can take that in many ways. Training for the circus. Like, I do a whole bunch of things in that area. If you don't know what an aerialist is, I just basically use apparatuses and I work with the air element. I throw my body around vertical and or horizontal apparatuses. Extreme. It's very extreme. It can be very extreme. But it's great. I love it. It keeps me fit. It keeps me mentally well. And that also goes into like why I started doing this. So my first kind of little plop as far as aerialist or me proclaiming the term aerialist was me polling. Like, I started off in this industry in the nightlife more so as a model who seen a pole, got on a pole, loved the pole, and then just became a pole dancer and loved the art of pole dancing. And then in learning that it's an Olympian sport, like it can be as big as the Olympics and other things. So just challenging myself in that sport, like that's what I was doing. And then as time went on, I was like, yeah, I'm getting good, man. I'm getting real good at what I do as far as dancing, because I've always been dancing and singing. And so it was just like, one thing led to another, and I was like, I can just make money from this. And then that's how I started introducing myself into the club. I started capitalizing off of something that was my hobby, and something that I've done for a while now, as far as just capitalizing off of the things that I do. So I also have a business as well called Gypsy Juice. I make sea moss gels and loose leaf teas. And then I have a little, something to the side, my little knickknacks where I design bongs and trays and all the other good stuff. I love painting. So it's like I'm always finding a way to, capitalize. I have multiple sources of income and I like touching many different things. Don't know if it has a little or a lot to do with ADHD, but that's nobody's business but my own. And yeah. And also a little bit about what I do too. So, before I even get there, I want to give a shout out real quick now that we're here. Shout out to No Stress Sound Academy. This is where I'm at right now. I appreciate Sud. This is Sud's baby. And I love this place, man. It's a recording studio / event space / really kind of whatever you need it for. It feels homey. It's, you wouldn't think that it's a studio, but it's a studio. Like, it's great. You can come in, parlay. Like, it's always going to be a vibe, always going to be a good time. They hold events for artists and things like that too. What's going on tonight? It's a ox kind of. So yeah, Pass the Ox. So they're doing like a Pass the Ox tonight. So basically that's just like everybody got to catch the vibe. And if you're not a part of the vibe or you can't keep the vibe going, then that means you gotta go. So yeah, they love doing fun things like that. And then again, they do artist showcase and things like that. So if you're in Charlotte, make sure that you at least stop by here because it's wonderful. And then not only that, shout out to Two's Perspective, man. Shout out to the guy Nopi. Again, if I could just, I would, but yeah, I'm gonna give him a little round of applause or a little snappage. Thank you so much for being here today too. Everybody's definitely helping make the dream come together. So I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. Thank you. And then of course, Rambo shot you dead. He just got your ass. Thank you for the BTS. He's here today as well. Nope, he does videography, photography. So does Rambo. Make sure you tap in. And yeah, it's all about the movement right now. We're moving to seek our higher selves and speak our truth. So I'm glad that we all found our little pool and now we about to go make some shit shake. You know what I mean? But yeah, so back to what I do. Y'all, I just be existing at this point. I don't know who's with me on it, but I just be existing. So as far as the club's concerned, and even because I do so many things, like I just do what's right for me or what I feel as though it's best for me, if that makes sense. A lot of the times I really don't know what moves me and it feels almost like out of body. However, I'm becoming a more successful individual with just doing what I love to do and doing what I want to do. So yeah, I encourage those not to relieve yourselves of your jobs. That's not what I'm about to say, but in just saying that there are so many different avenues to try as far as just not giving up on your craft and what you may see as your craft. Meaning that when I was little, I always knew I was like going to be a dancer of some sort. You know what I mean? But then it's like, it almost seems like as people get older, their lifelong dreams at childhood seem to almost dissipate because we're so focused on school. We're so focused on getting out of school and then what's after school. So focused on getting a job, so focused on other things besides like living your authentic self. So it was almost like a sacrifice having to like work in this industry. I mean, like the nightlife, sex industry. And that's a whole nother thing that we'll come back to. But just really finding ways to alchemize the materials that I have around me. And y'all will hear me say alchemize a lot because it's the art of manipulation. Being able to quite literally like manifest almost everything that you come across. And so yeah. Hold on, I'm sparking my blunt real quick. Sorry, y'all. Hold on. Should I do like the Lil Wayne flick? Hold on. Hopefully they got it. Hopefully it sounds cute. I don't know. I don't have the headphones on, y'all. I'm sorry. But yeah. Oop. Okay. So yeah. What else? Oh, also, and what I can then go on to is what I stand for. So what I really stand for is, again, like just standing in your truth and living your truth, no matter like what that is. I feel like right now it's a lot, or the time that we're in, it's full of people that are making a way, but not really being, authentic about it in a way, meaning that we see a lot of the things that are going on social media, like everything gets thrown in our face as far as like who's screwing who or who cussed out this or who did that, and not realizing that a lot of these things don't directly benefit us. It what you do as far as living that authentic life is just like muting all of that out. And if you are going to speak on it or let it weigh so heavy into like your life, do something with that information. Don't just sit on that information. Learn from the people who are being blasted on social media every day, instead of learning from them in ways that we've been taught, which is to still go rob and scheme, or to go fuck, or to go do certain things. And even breaking that down, boom. So in the industry that I'm in, and this is why I was I be having conversations like this with people as far as what they feel as though, the sex industry is, or what they feel about dancers, or how they feel about their relationships with women in general. Because I wouldn't say that there's two types of women, but there are definitely probably like, two types of people, meaning that those who are comfortable living in what I would deem the matrix, meaning that they're fine with working that 9 to 5. They're fine with, and which is, if you're fine with that, if you are fine with that, I promise you I'm fine with that. So please do not eat me up in the comments. But it's just like, if you would have to be fine with that. And if you're okay with that, live that. But then there's other people that's not life. And it seems like there's just a lot of people who live that reality that are discrediting those who not even live a different reality, but those who live that reality shut themselves out in a way. And it's like almost like it doesn't exist, or because it doesn't really have much to do with them, it doesn't matter. But these are still the same people that y'all bumping in the club, which doesn't really make sense to me. So meaning that these people who are comfortable living those 9 to 5s are bumping the music to the same people who are in these streets doing these things. So they're like, these people have capitalized off of their pains, their truths, what they're doing in the club, outside the club. If they're even in the club, they might be on the streets because of prostitution. Like this nightlife industry, what I deem to be more of a sex industry, is a lot bigger and a lot more in people's faces than what they realize or what they even want to admit. Period. So I just stand for identifying, because to me, it's like, if you're able to identify these things, you're able to have a better understanding and or have a different perspective, or a more open perspective to a lot of what's actually going on, like in the world, like during the daytime. But we can't act like the nighttime don't affect the daytime, because it does. It does. Sorry, y'all. I'm kindly passing what I need to. I don't even know at this point what is safe to say on here. I probably have to look up the regulations and things like that. Yeah, probably do some research on that, because I don't want to say like, blunt, and it's like demonetization, because y'all know how YouTube been lately. It's just been absolutely insane. Oh, but yeah, boom. So going back to how I even, started getting into, oh no, I didn't even get into that yet, but I'm gonna start now though. So real quick, podcasting. So like, some people might wonder how I started potting. So really, I was in college, and then y'all will see, I'll bring it like all together, how like the nightlife affects daytime in a second. So follow me. But whenever I started potting, well, when was the first time I ever potted? I would say it was at Coastal Carolina University. So some of you may not know, if you do follow me on social media, if you have been for a while, because there are some of you that are probably watching this that have seen me, probably know me from the beginning. You know what I mean? So I went to Coastal Carolina University in UNC Charlotte. However, at Coastal, in one of my creative writing classes, our teacher used like podcasting as like a curriculum, meaning that because of how some people strategize and even plan their podcasts, it's a good way for you to be able to, break down your thoughts, stay on topics, things of that nature, and being creative and finding a style and being able to create an audience, etc. So being able to explain your points. So it was great that was in a creative, class. And at the time, back during the pandemic, now mind you, this is in 2019. This was right before the pandemic. There wasn't really much podcasts. Like podcasts were just really kind of like popping out for real and kind of becoming a thing. I was at this point kind of familiar with some of the things that what's his name? He was on this show. I don't know if y'all remember, because I'm 21. So I don't know if y'all remember Crash Course. So for all of my youngins out there who are right with me. So John, I think his name is John Green. He ended up doing a podcast called, let me look. The podcast is called, I don't know why it's not popping up. It wants to pop up any other time. And it's a really good podcast too. Like, y'all should definitely check it out. He's dope. And he breaks down stuff because like that was his job, if y'all are familiar with how Crash Course went. but I cannot find the podcast for right now for some reason. But yeah, anywhoosies, maybe in another episode I might find it, but it's not coming up for me right now. Have you? We were having to digest that podcast. Like, he made it like it was a part of our homework. It was like 50% of our entire class grade to learn how this person was strategizing with their podcast and what we would do and what we would talk about if we had our own. And so, of course, at that time, I had not seen and or heard or encountered a lot of the things that, I was about to. However, I love writing. I have a love and a passion for writing. And so, and that, goes into my music as well. And so with that being said, it was just like, it was almost very natural for me to want to teach in a way, or not even teach, but like put it in a way to where I could like have an audience. And so that's whenever I started getting the little touch of that. But then podcasts started blowing, time went on, the pandemic happened, and life happened. And thankfully I started modeling and really just put my all into like my music. Like, for once I was like, okay, that's something that I'm going to work towards. So I wasn't really potting, but I was listening to podcasts. And then one of my favorite podcasts, of course, Joe Rogan. And that's funny in a way that probably a couple of these people in the room know, and which we'll probably get into. Thank you though. Thank you. Oh dang. What was I saying? Huh? Oh yeah, Joe Rogan, dude. Sorry, y'all. See, what can I say on here? Never mind. So Joe Rogan, man, that's funny. It's funny that it's Joe Rogan, but that's my guy. You know what I mean? I would love to be on his podcast. And then that's really where, in the back of my mind, from that freaking class, like, I watch podcasts and I see people that almost have it. They're right there. They almost got it. The point's there. Oh, I'm grasping it. And then, oh man, they lose me. Whether it be because they aren't really educated in what goes on with colored folks, or they don't care to know. So that's where it's just like they don't have maybe somebody in the room that might have knowledge about that. So then it just becomes just this boiling pot of ignorance. But then it's just like that, those kinds of things like kind of boil my blood, but it's like they still talk about the things that need to be talked about. And that's why it's just like, don't shoot the messenger. I'm always willing to learn. So I'm going to be talking about things that, get pretty deep. I'm going to be asking very off the wall, questions to people. I will be doing interviews and stuff like that too. So y'all definitely look forward to those. It's all really, of course, for that purpose of just like standing in your truth. And I've wanted to be on people's podcasts to just pick their brain, because I feel like some of the people that they have in the room aren't really asking the right questions or giving feedback. They're yes men. It's like a lot of people in the room that are just like yes men. That's why I can't wait for y'all to meet my girls. Shout out to my girls Shigo and Lodi Lou. They can't be here right now. They're gonna probably be on the way soon. Hopefully I'm still shooting then, but they're absolutely amazing. Lodi, she actually dances with me, and she's been my homegirl really since the pandemic. Like, I was, what am I able to talk about on here? Cause it's like, should I talk about shrooms? It's like, I probably shouldn't talk about shrooms, should I? But yeah, she was back with me when, shit was really, I was popping and, just, living life, going through my experiences with psychedelics. And yeah. And then, now we're here, like, really trying to do the thug dizzle and like get the word out there. It started with the seed, man, and just getting the word out there as far as what goes on. So let's talk about Charlotte clubs real quick. Y'all, wait, where's the blunt at? If I'm about to be talking about this, because y'all. let's make it meet a little bit. Meaning that I'm watching podcasts and things like that, really tripping heavy, shrooms, acid. This is me being honest. Free space, safe space. And I knew in college that like I'm not going to live a traditional lifestyle at this point. I'm not going to. No matter how hard I would try to fight it. Meaning that like I sold cars after the pandemic. You know, I did what I needed to as far as getting back into regular work to like pay my bills and feed my lifestyle. And then it just got to a point where I was still being drawn back to that. I'm being robbed of being able to do music and being able to push myself, being able to express myself, whether that be through dance or through my music. Like I missed that part of myself, that child part of myself. And so, of course, I was capitalizing. Started capitalizing off of me being a pole dancer, dude. I did shrooms with my homegirl one day. Shout out to my girl T. Shout out to you. Love you, baby. And she had a pole in her house. And I walked past it and I was like, I'm not going to walk past this. And I did not know a lick of pole dancing. Really didn't see none of that. And just really kind of did my thing. Fell in love with it. Became a bomb ass pole dancer. And now I'm really working on my craft, perfecting my craft. It's amazing, y'all. Like, y'all gotta come see me. Like, y'all, I be outside, y'all. I be at the Appies. Catch me at the Appies. You know what I mean? If you went to Charlotte, catch me at the Appies. Rest in peace, Silk City. You know what I mean? Like, that's South Carolina. Rest in peace, Silk City. Like, y'all gotta come see me perform. Like, where there's a pole. However, I'm introducing, new elements, meaning that I can do lyra and all that jazz. So now what I'm really focusing on is like club bookings. So if you know anybody who has a club, if you're out here in Charlotte, I definitely do bookings as far as apparatuses are concerned, whether that be lyra or pole. So let me know. I do teach classes too, as far as pole is concerned. So for all the beginners, ladies, I consider myself intermediate/advanced because I don't have my shoulder mount. I feel like once I get my shoulder mount and my Aisha, I'm locked in for the event. Oh, handspring too. Locked in. So for all my pole ladies who know what I'm talking about, yeah, working on that. That's where I'm at. Please send me videos to my Instagram. I didn't give y'all my Instagram handle. Make sure y'all follow me at _the real Aurora. Send me pole videos. Send me stuff. I'll be bored. And I would love to like have segments where I review y'all stuff that y'all sent me. I feel like that would be spicy. I think that would be spicy. Anywhoosies. So yeah. But back to clubs. So I've been around, y'all. Like I said, I'm 21. I've been dancing in clubs on and off for 2 years, almost 2 years. Yeah, like 2 years now. And it's been a ride. Y'all, it's been a ride. Like, recently I ain't gonna bring that up. I'll save that for another, because that's a whole nother thing. Sorry, I don't mean to do that to y'all. But like, these clubs here in Charlotte are dead as hell. And really at this point, the after hours, shout out J-Way. Hopefully I get to talk to him later. OG at the after hours. Like, that's really where the money at, y'all. So to all of my ladies who, if you're dancers, afties, definitely hit me up for like any information so I can send y'all what I know. I'm definitely for the girls. Have you? After spots, I mean, I'm not gonna shit talk, but like Onyx ain't been the best, y'all. I feel like Onyx is overrated. I mean, even the cussies feel that way. I listen to my customers, y'all. They don't be fucking with Onyx no more, because it's like there's after hour spots. Because in the state of North Carolina, you can't sell alcohol past 2:00. So it's like these clubs be open till like 3, 4 in the morning with no alcohol. So why do that when you can go to a place that has alcohol after 2 o'clock? That's the logic behind it, if y'all didn't know. So again, to my ladies and for the fellas, after hour spots be where it's at in Charlotte. But if you talking club money, you might want to travel. And ladies, if you travel with a partner, someone who you trust. And then, of course, I'm going to be able to really deep dive into that in other episodes where the girls really have to stick together. Like, we really, really, really have to stick together, y'all. In the way that niggas really, like, sometimes ain't shit or, like, and that's just, like, that's the truth. So why not have people that you can trust, like, that are girls? And I feel like girls have a harder time at being friends than niggas do. And like, that's a problem. Like, that's a problem. And with that being said, if this is a way or if this is an avenue where the girls can hear it as far as the pod or just me, wherever I go in general, like, we really got to stick together, because I've been in situations where it's like, thank God I have my homegirls. And then I be hearing some of y'all stories where I'm like, damn, them bitches is not your friend. And that shit be so sad. Some of y'all bitches really be letting y'all friends go out so sad. And it's sad. Like, at this point, I feel like people really don't know, like, how to be friends or have friendships. And that's like, it's getting to be a bit odd to me seeing what some of these girls are doing to each other in the club, when at the end of the day, we all got to work together. Like, from the roaching to the belligerently drunk and not being able to really do your job, like, amongst other things, like, we really just got to stick together, y'all. We got to do better. Shout out Lil Baby, because he just went to this girl funeral who died. She was real young, and he was just like, we got to do better. And he said we, so that includes me. So if this is a start to goddamn doing better, then hell yeah, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna do it. Ooh. Also, yeah, and that can bring me into this too. So what I'm trying to accomplish with this pod is really getting people to understand. Well, not even getting people to understand, but like, goes back to what I was saying earlier, as far as just identifying certain things. Meaning that, like, shit could be so easy, but we be so focused on the wrong shit. Like, so prime example. I feel like certain things, like something as simple as sex work, right? And or the sex industry. And this is where I'm gonna start really breaking down, like, what is entailed in this. Meaning that, like, not only from an entertainment aspect, but like the sexualizing women aspect. Meaning that bringing awareness, what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to accomplish is really bringing awareness to